Hello, hello, hello. We are here for another episode of Salvage Saturday. Today's idea comes to us from FrappsAndScraps. As always, the channel will be in the title. For the sake of not having to make separate pockets, I'm going to do one of these as a journal card and one of them as a pocket. But this is two takes on the same idea using sparkly glittery stuff and clear packing tape. There it is, clear packing tape to make journaling cards, pages, pockets, whatever you want. I feel like I don't know. Sorry about that. All of a sudden, a big old yawn. So, instead of pulling my cutter paper trimmer out, I'm just going to use my scissors here. So this is another way to use windowed envelopes. I'm going to set this aside because, again, although this could be the pocket, but no, it can't because it's cut off the... Okay, so first thing we want to do is open up the sides of our little things here. And one end. Doesn't really matter which one. I tend to open the end that has the least amount of space. These scissors are... Okay, that end's open. This end's open. It's not cleanly open. There's lots of, jaggedy edges, but that's okay. Now, you'll notice on these, the actual outside of the envelope is showing versus the inside of is showing. That's just a cool way. I mean, who thinks to turn... This one's a cleaner one. Who thinks to turn an envelope this way, right? Also want to make sure that all your parts are glued down or torn off if you can. Nope, this one can't. Come on. So sorry this video did not go out on time. I'm going to switch over glues because this one's making my hand hurt already. Make sure those are glued down. Okay. Okay. So first things first is to decide which one of these I want to be turned inside out. This one's glued a little neater, so I'm going to make this one the inside out one. And this one over here is going to be the right side out. Now, remember that because this is a windowed envelope, it does have these little plastic, it's got a plastic coating on it. So when we're putting the clear tape down, we're gonna go all the way to the edges. I just got that little flap there that was gonna drive me a little on the bonky side. Okay. The tricky part, honestly, is in laying the tape down. Now for both of these, you're going to lay them face down. So the inside of your envelope is what you're looking at. It is going to be more important that your tape goes all the way to the edges for the one that's going to be inside out versus the one that's not. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I have my little bling box out. So I'm just going to grab some of my jars of specklies. I got some sequins. Pinks and blues. Okay, so we're gonna stick with those. Let me get some tunes on. Sorry this is late. I started to say that. I think I got distracted. Last night, I was just not feeling it. I was really tired. So I just went to bed last night instead of filming. And then normally I would get up and, when I wake up in the morning, I'm able to film real quick, before little man wakes up. But he woke up early today. Really? So some of these are not flat enough. Like these are concave. So if they're gonna take up too much, if they're too tall, I'm not gonna include them in this project. So these little beads also have a concave texture to them. So we're just going to spread out some of those sequins. Again, I'm going to put some over here. Put back what I'm not going to use, which again is these little beads. They're like flat back pearls, sort of. These gold ones that are flexed. Where did that just go? I picked it up to separate it, and now I don't know where it's at. It's alright. I'm not going to put too many sequins on there. And I'm also not worrying about whether they're upside down or right side up. But yeah, I have little man again this week. His mom is actually on her way home, on her way back from the wet side. But yeah, he woke up early this morning. But waking up early meant he went for a nap early. So here I am. Might get this open without flinging it everywhere. Let's see, where's my... I was looking for my pokey tool, but I'm not seeing it. There we go. This was not wanting to come off. This is like little flakes of something. It reminds me of fiberglass, but obviously it's not fiberglass, but... Oops, that was a little much. Okay, don't know if that's allowed, so we're going to skip that one. Definitely no Def Leppard's allowed. So we're going to put a little bit of gold. That's what I'm using. It's not really glitter per se, because it's like little strips of stuff. Like I said, it reminds me of fiberglass. These were sent to me from my friend up in Canada. And let's do a little bit of silver glitter in there. It's like making it snow. And I have glitter everywhere now because craft herpes. I just add some gold glitter in there too. Might as well, huh? Oops, that was a little more than I wanted. Keep in mind, this is not sticking to anything because there's nothing sticky there, so. I don't know if you guys are seeing that fling. I went to like my hands right into the stream of my fan. So it just blew it all back at me. I now have gold glitter in my coffee. Is what it is. Alright, so I'm going to move this one over. Because what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to run the tape and I'm going to go over all edges and then I'll trim it down. Just got to find the end of the tape. And it doesn't matter. It can be, you know, whatever inexpensive tape. Me and this tape are not getting along very well though, because it keeps, like, it's not staying connected to the cutter up here. Okay, we're going to slide this one over. And as I was saying, you know, this one, you don't have to necessarily go over the edges and you don't have to make sure that everything is covered. You do just want to make sure that the windows are covered. Because again, this is going to be on the inside. And I'm sure you guys just totally saw what I just did. It's like, yeah, wipe it off. Squish the tape down and wipe off all of your pretties. Wipe off all the glitter. Yep. So we're going to get sort of back up where it belongs. We're going to get this one down here. Although that feels like there's more than one. I'm so covered. I am covered. So again, just making sure that the window itself is covered. Trim the glue or the tape off. My goodness. Okay, let's get this one up and trimmed. Capture some of that glitter that's everywhere now. So this step is the same regardless of which way your envelope's going to go. But again, just keep in mind, if it's going to be, this is going to be the outside, you want to make sure that you're covering all the way to the edges, the top, and ideally the bottom, simply because it's going to be on the outside and, you know, in contact with everything. So this does not go all, the tape didn't go all the way down. I have like probably a 1/4 inch there. So I'm just going to do a little. Like, if I got tape, I might as well use it to try to clean up a little bit of my mess, right? Okay. And back when I had stated that I was going to be using insides of envelopes if I was going to be collaging anything. So I'm going to do that step next. Oh, get all this. If you could just see the amount of glue, I mean of glitter, that is all over. It's crazy. So I'm going to use this as the journaling card. I'll have to use good glue there because, and I'm leaving it white. What I was checking is to make sure that this barcode was not visible, which it's not, so I'm going to leave it white. And then I'm going to put glue on this side going around, making sure I get those edges really good. And as always, if you're going to sew the edges, you don't have to worry quite as much about making sure that your edges are glued down. Now, if this was a color, you know, you could see things that I didn't like you could see this very well, or there was writing on the back. See, like this one's got writing in the middle. So if I turned it, you could still see the writing. I would cover this with some sort of decorative paper. Since this is going to be a journaling card, we're gluing it all the way down. about that song. Now it's not a good writing surface on the back, so that will need to be covered. I'm looking to see what I have right in front of me. Okay. I got some cream colored paper here. We'll just use this. And I'm going to grab my ruler. Ouch. Stab myself with it before I get myself coordinated. Let's go this way first. I can sort of see. It'd be better to go bigger than smaller because, you know, you can always trim it. Oh, that's close. Go this way with it. Now again, because I'm gluing over the tape here, I'm going to use the good glue. You could use just a glue stick otherwise. But glue stick is not going to adhere very well to the packing tape. All right, I get this. So I'm assuming this band must be okay because I accidentally sat through a couple songs because I wasn't really paying attention, and I didn't have to edit them out. So, okay, for this, because it's a journaling card, I do want to round off those corners, but I want to trim it so it's straight-ish. Now, it's not like in going through tape. Did I literally do I didn't do all four corners already. But if you noticed, I turned it. It's going at it from under so that the tape is on the bottom and is on the, not on the, it's on the part that comes up versus the part that goes down. It cut a little better, but there still are some spots where the tape did not cut, and it's probably more because there was only tape there versus tape and paper. So just kind of trimming up those. Okay. Journaling card, and this is going to be a pocket. So we're going to cover this first. And I do have a whole... Remember when I was saying that I needed to get new envelopes? I'm good. I went through and started going through my mail. I have purchased a a document scanner. So before we do anything, I want to decide, do I like that I can see that showing through there? Since I'm going to be covering it, probably not. And also, is this going to be a pocket and this going to be a pocket, or am I going to glue it closed and this whole thing be a pocket? Because that makes a difference in what's going to be wrapping. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close it up. But I don't want... Now, you could easily cover this whole thing, and that would be okay too. Instead of tearing paper down like this. If I had a full sheet of paper, I probably would have done it. Other than that cream, I probably would have just covered the back and called it good. I just heard my front door. So what I'm going to do first, make sure this covers where the window is at. The advantage of doing it this way too is that you could do different papers if you chose, you know, if you wanted to. That should be good right there. Again, using Fabri-Tac is good because got a little bit of wiggle time. And I am going to glue this down. Now, if you were going to use this as a second pocket, like only glue the sides, I would recommend that you use a solid sheet of paper here, because this just gives an extra spot for what your tags and stuff that you're stuffing in there for it to get caught. And again, because I'm gluing over tape, is why I'm using the Fabri-Tac glue instead of glue stick. So now we can switch over to the glue stick for the rest of this. Like, where'd that piece go that I just trimmed out? So this, I want above and below as well as around. So that's all that's doing is creating a non-raw edge. I also need a glue paste. And my glue stick to be open. And I am going over the edges of the window, and that's only because again, trimming out. Trimming out the corners so that these fold over. Forgot what I was trying to say. I'm distracted by all the noises coming from... Oh, so that they're squared. That's what where I was going with that. So I don't want this full piece, but I do want it to be able to wrap. So I guess I should make sure it's my husband and not little man's mama. Overlapping. We don't need this much. And trim off the corner. Whoop. So this comes in. This goes over. Yeah. A whole bunch of envelope insides. Let's see if I can find some that's got different pattern. Well, that one's different. That one's different. I also don't want blue just yet. Oh, Aflac feet. Please recycle. Let's start with those. Let's put some Aflac feet on there. Okay. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to use this piece right here since it's already torn. Put some Aflac feet down here at the bottom. Go up the side. Because I want that. I want to be able to wrap that folded edge or that torn edge around the back. And if I put it on the bottom in order to have the feet upright, the tear would be on the main part of the page. So glue that down. Again, we're going to trim the corner. Fold in, and fold over. This part, folding over, is not necessary. It's not a requirement. It just helps give it a cleaner edge. And it strengthens the edge too. In this case, strengthening wouldn't be necessary because it's already glued, so it's already a double layer pocket. I love the texture of this envelope too. So will this fit across the bottom there? Yes, it will. Nice big window. So again, I'm just going to tear that right there. The window can go off into my stashes. Put this away. Woo! You see what I did? That's really close to being too short. It's not gonna overlap either of those, and that's okay. You know, again, not paying attention to my music. Don't know if that's gonna be an edit out. Please recycle this envelope. Okay, I need something to go right down the center. What do I have over here? How about a nice dark line down the center? I think I can take off that sticky. Just trimming off the fuzzy. Didn't tear cleanly. Okay. I gotta decide, do I want to take it and wrap it so it looks like a band? I think I will. That little bit's gonna go over there into my scrap pile. Not quite a straight cut, but that's okay. And we're just going to wrap those around the back. Again, you want to make sure, just to give a rub around, make sure all of your edges are secured, because again, this is going to be a pocket. So you want to make sure that when you're sliding stuff in and out, it's not getting caught up on your pages. Let's bring that book back out. So again, this is Fraps and Scraps, FrappsAndScraps. So we're going to glue this on as a pocket, and as you can, I should have trimmed it. Wasn't thinking about that because it barely fits in here, kind of like this one. I want to You don't need to notch it, but I want to. Pick up all the stuff I knocked onto the floor. Okay. Now, hold where you don't want to glue. Run a bead down the side, across the bottom, and back up the other side. Get these strings, make sure their strings stay out of the way. Get that pocket, woo! Get the pocket glued in. Glue's a little slickery. While I'm holding this, I'm scanning. There it is. I'm looking for a writing utensil. This is FrappsAndScraps. S-C-R-A-P-S. Fraps and Scraps. Okay. And then journaling card, using the same technique, gluing it completely closed, and then covering the back so you have a writing surface. So you do a pocket, then you do journal card, and there you go. So thanks for tuning in with me for another Saturday. And again, I apologize that it was late today. I am running on very, very, very low sleep and low energy right now. So I do what I can. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.